Hi everyone, a bit of a project update here on my quest to try and break 100 miles an hour with a park jet, foam park jet with a quad racing motor. So a couple weeks ago I shot a video. The testing was going along fine until unfortunately, due to me not tightening the prop down, I lost my first airplane because the prop came loose in a high-speed 4S run. So anyway, the good news is we're not that far away. On my data logger here, this Voltron GPS data logger, when the plane met its demise, I had reached 98.8 miles per hour, and I was only maybe about a minute and a half into the flight. So the 4S battery hadn't even really quite warmed up yet. Normally these batteries, these Tattu R-Line, this is a 1550 milliamp 4S 75C. They seem to take a couple of good bursts before they sort of get warmed up. So anyway, we're not that far away. So back to the drawing board, built another modified SU-30 version 4 from RC Powers. Essentially everything's the same as the first one, except obviously I didn't go with any sort of fancy paint scheme. This is actually a paint scheme inspired by a test institute and facility called LII that was at Zhukovsky, hopefully I'm pronouncing that, air base back in the 90s just outside of Moscow. So anyway, I used a little bit of artistic license. This I'll have a link down below to the website where I got the paint scheme. This actually should be black back here, but I made it red just to give a bit more contrast. So I did all of this with Magic Marker, and obviously the white areas I didn't paint. So what that's helped me do is I've dropped about a half an ounce in weight from my first plane. So I'm now at 18.2 ounces, or at about 516 grams, and that's weighed with this 4S battery and this data logger. This data logger weighs about 9 or 10 grams, I think, about the same as a servo. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I didn't make any real changes to the airframe other than I did in the very short flight that I had on 4S with this. I should mention this is the GEP-RC 2306 2750 motor with a 6x3 EMP prop, which is I recently just did a series of videos about all of my experiences with quad racing motors testing over the last year. This is the most powerful. It's my #1 pick for the most powerful. So I was only about 90 seconds into the first flight with this motor when my mishap happened. Anyway, yeah, I think there's good potential there. But what happened in the couple of speed runs that I got was, because of the extra power compared to the Emax motor that I was running, I did notice a bit of torque roll. So what I did was I didn't cut as much off of these ventral fins here on the bottom. I only cut, I think, about 6 millimeters off, whereas with the previous version I had cut an entire centimeter off. So I don't know. I suppose theoretically it maybe has increased the drag. I'm hoping by dropping about a half an ounce in all up weight that will compensate for that. But what I'm hoping is that when I hammer the throttle, I don't see quite as much torque roll, that the plane's going to stay fairly level and pardon me, just go straight ahead. To maximize the speed, because I think if it's zooming or torque rolling, then I'm potentially losing some speed. And since we're only 1.2 miles an hour away from getting to 100 miles an hour, every little bit helps. So yeah, so this paint scheme, if you want, is just done with Magic Marker, which in my experience adds next to no weight compared to paint. The other thing is, touch wood, almost every plane that I've painted with Magic Marker has lasted forever almost. I think normally I just end up recycling them. But anyway, so there we go. So there's the update. So again, just that one minor change really to the build, where I just left a little bit more on those ventral fins to hopefully see if that'll help reduce the torque roll. We've got the GEP RC motor in here now. Same with same speed controller, the Hobbywing Platinum Pro, which is proving to be a real superstar. I shot a video about that as well, which I'll link down below. Custom settings of 26.25 degrees on the timing and 8 kilohertz again on the pulse width modulation frequency. All right, so there we go. There's the update on the Project 100 mile an hour park jet, if you want. So yeah, I'll have obviously more updates as I get to the field. Probably again my first flight session. I'll just be on 3S just till I get it you know, trimmed in and balanced properly, so then I can figure out where my 4S battery needs to go. The 4S battery is it's about 6 grams lighter than 3S batteries that I use, so you know it has to be, plus it's, you know, shorter, so I have to kind of figure out where my actual CG is going to be. I'm going to start it off with the maiden about I think about a half an inch ahead of where it was marked on the plans. That seems to be pretty consistent with all the Su-30 version 4s that I've modified, so we'll see how that goes. So hopefully the next time you'll see this plane, again it'll be, you know, some flight footage on 3S with this little beastie of a motor, the GEP RC 2306-2750. So there we go, folks. Again, please check out the comments down below. Be links to the website. A fellow from Poland who he's got a great website. I use his website all the time for inspiration for MiG and Sukhoi paint schemes. As well as links to some other videos, and this will be in a playlist, the continuation playlist from the time when I started this, if you want to go back and you know, sort of watch how I got to where we are right now. So thanks very much for watching. Blue skies, calm winds to everyone, park jet noise, the other sound of freedom, baby. Take care.